Good afternoon. My name is Termaine Jenkins. Some of you know me as TJ. I'm a producer for Tampa Film Network, and today I'm going to be giving a general update of everything. This is going to basically serve as our general meeting, minus you guys having or actually being there to speak back. I'm just going to give the information out, and I'm also going to give our new COVID-19 coronavirus guidance to just talk about how we're going to continue to do what we do in the context that we're in. And hopefully any folks who had any kind of questions relating to that can get those answered by watching this video. This is for members of TFN, but also people who are not members. So we are going to be sharing this outside of our group so other people can see it. And so you can get some general info about what TFN is if you're not a member currently. So first, let me give a quick introduction for folks who are not members about what TFN is. So Tampa Film Network is an independent filmmaking organization. And what we do is we bring together aspiring filmmakers, actors, crew in Tampa together to create Tampa Film Network films. That's films for the actual organization TFN or any kind of project, whether it's even if it's a web series, anything, all of it for TFN. So we're not actually like an organization that's helping individual productions that are not TFN with their projects or providing resources in that way. Our approach is we bring people in to the organization and, we kind of get everyone working together in our own little system here. And we make content specifically under TFN's umbrella. So we're totally independent. We do everything ourselves, including we pull together our own equipment, time, resources, and generally every event or opportunity that we have is going to be at no cost to any member as far as like membership fees or anything like that. Every member of TFN contributes to the filmmaking efforts as a member of a team. So when you join Tampa Film Network, you either join the acting team or the camera team or the editing team. You do something. And, you basically work with a group of people because that makes things easier. Often it makes it a lot more fun. I love working with other people. But also just because, there's no money in our organization as far as being able to pay people, it just makes the workload lighter and just more fun because it's just easier to do. So the reason that TFN exists is to create opportunities for our members to make films in Tampa. It's kind of hard to do. We're not a great film market. We're more aligned with commercials and things, but if you're trying to make a career out of working in film production, it's going to be a hard go in Tampa. So what we want to do is provide some opportunities for people, especially if you don't have, say, maybe you can't afford acting classes that are available locally, or you don't know how to get in with production companies, or if you don't have any other opportunities, we're often a good place for people to start and to learn and, to gain a lot of credit. Our goal is to create enough high quality content so that we could potentially sell programming. And, we would like to employ every member of TFN as a production company. And we hope, to offer wages, benefits, just like you would do at your normal job so that people can actually get paid to make films because that's what they want to do. So we want to be able to actually let people do what they love to do for a living. That's what TFN is hoping to be able to do one day. So as you can see pictures here from some of the productions that we've done. This is from Butterfly. This is also from Butterfly. This is from Good Friends. We have 3 short films total. One has actually been accepted into Sunscreen this year. However, the way things are going with every place shutting down, we might not actually get to see that in theaters. But we'll definitely see it online, and that's our main destination as an organization. All right, let's move on. A little more info for new folks. The TFN principles that kind of hold the organization together are things like individual unity. So just the fact that we're bringing folks together. We often talk in terms of we and us all the time, and we gear every decision made in terms of what's most beneficial for all of us or what's most beneficial for the entire organization. Um, and that's important. Teamwork is a seminal part of what we do. As I mentioned before, when you join TFN, you have to join a team. You have to join some group that is doing something as far as filmmaking. So the acting team, the writing team, the camera team, the sound team. You know, you work together with somebody, and that's how we get that done. Also, we have a podcast team. We're working on it. Respect. So we like to basically let everyone have a piece of the creative pie. So if you're on the acting team, we try to make it so that you're just on the acting team, so that no one person gets way too much creative influence. Um, we we have this theory about how to get things done when you are not funding or relying on money to hire people or fund a production. And part of the most important thing that has to happen is people have to enjoy what they're doing. And when you can have some creative input or be relied on for, do you think this is a good shot if you're the camera team, or how do you want to approach this role if you're the actor? When things are left up to you, it's a lot more enjoyable. So the respect thing is everyone just respects the powers and limitations of each team. Um, Contribution, just the idea that, everything you do is to put TFN ahead, and that's putting yourself ahead because we're all TFN. Um, so we're all kind of in this together. We push the idea of jumping in, which is be first. Don't be afraid to inject some enthusiasm to what we do. Pushing is just making sure that everything we start, we finish. So we are never done until something is online and available to be viewed. So definitely we push deadlines and things like that. Paying it forward is the concept of just do more and, do good things for TFN, and don't expect it. Do good things without it demanding a exact return. Just pay it forward. Just do good stuff. That encourages other people to do good stuff, and it all goes around and it benefits everyone together. Pay it back just basically recognizes that everything we have is because somebody sacrificed something. So um, websites are not always free. So if you see that we do have a website, it means somebody's either paying for it, or some of us are pooling a little bit of our money to have a website, or somebody took the time to write the description on our social media accounts and stuff like that. So we hope that when people pay it forward, that encourages everyone to also pay it back. So those are kind of the guiding principles. They're evolving as we get better at what we do. TFN rules. Now, this is also a growing list, and it kind of goes as we learn, hey, we shouldn't do this next time around, we add to this list. But right now, the most important thing is no cancellations. TFN does not cancel ever. We've canceled actually one time. We canceled an acting class the other week because this whole COVID-19 coronavirus thing came, and we had a reservation at the library, and they canceled our reservation, so they won't let anyone reserve any rooms for the time being. So that was actually forced upon us. Otherwise, we always have like backup locations in mind or alternate people to play roles. We basically guarantee that when we put something on the calendar, it happens always. So on a personal note, everyone basically has to follow suit with, like, if you say you're going to be somewhere at a certain time, or if you commit to something, you basically never cancel. That's an important thing, because a lot of people are giving their time to participate. And when we depend on people and somebody who's needed doesn't show up, it wastes everyone's time. And that is a killer for an organization that does not pay people or have the same resources as others. So that's why that's so important. And it's one of the red rules. No poaching. So as I mentioned, we make content for TFN. And so we do have a Facebook group, and we allow people to post projects and things like that. But you can't come to our event and pull our people away for your own project, is what poaching is. So if you come to the acting class only to cast for a production that has no association with TFN at all, that would be considered poaching. Or if you pull crew, that would be considered poaching. So where we're here to do what we're here to make the content for TFN, and that's very specific. So everything else is outside, and that's the way it should be. So no poaching, folks. Children present, no adult language or theme. So we do have kids with some of what we do. We allow kids to act and stuff like that. So it's very important that when children are present, all adults refrain from using adult language or adult themes. Also, children who are participating in Tampa Film Network classes, events, films must be accompanied by a parent. And we're basically only dealing with 13 or older right now. Okay. So those are the main rules. And like I said, that's a growing list. Let's go to the cancellation policy. This is so important that we have it. It has its own slide. On an individual basis, basically, TFN allows only one emergency cancellation per year. Every following cancellation warrants a suspension from filming. So if I'm a member of TFN, I'm supposed to be somewhere to shoot. I call the morning of, I cancel, I have an emergency. That's number one. Strike one is a warning. Okay, nothing happens, not suspended. We can reschedule, or I can take part in another project. All right, now the second time that this happens within the same year, that warrants a suspension of 3 to 6 months, dependent on things like, okay, well, I already have a cancellation, but I made the 3 shoots after. So in other words, I'm attending most of my things, and I just happen to have another suspension. Well, then you would lean towards the 3 months. But if it's like one right after the other, like you cancel one shoot, and then the very next shoot you cancel that too, so you have 2 emergencies. Well, then you would lean towards the 6, and so on. The same thing for going on the 3rd emergency. So that's how we deal with it. And the reason is very, very, very simple. Everyone has good intentions. Nobody has unlimited time. Therefore, this is the only thing that works. 1, 2, 3, 3 in a year, you're basically not doing anything for the rest of the year. Now, these do roll off. So the next year, you go back to 0, but same thing. Discretion is the second part of this cancellation policy. Basically, every cancellation is an emergency. You never say why. Never say why you can't show up. And that might sound a little bit weird, but let me explain it. So when you cancel, it's because you have an emergency. You cancel another time, it's because you have an emergency. Not because somebody died, or you wanted to do something else, or you got invited for something else, you had a job offer, or whatever. The specifics are actually not allowed to be said. Okay, so never disclose the specific reason for the cancellation, because all cancellations are considered emergencies. In other words, there's no reason anyone should cancel anything that they committed to but for an emergency. They're all counted the same. And we don't want to know why, because we don't want word to get around for some people, and judgment for some people canceling for some reasons while others feel like that's not fair. We're not going to deal with that. So all cancellations are considered the same. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt that it's an emergency. That's what it is. Lastly, now, individuals within TFN may have a little bit of a stricter policy. So a producer, because we have a producer for every project, may say, you know what, actually, it's one and done for me. So I give you one warning, and then the rest of the year, I'm not filming with you. You have to either work with another producer, or I just won't do it. And they have the right to do that, and that's fine. So just keep in mind that some producers may have a stricter policy. It's on them, and we require them to let you know, or let any production know, if they do have a stricter policy than the TFN general cancellation policy. And that's all that is. So just know that we take cancellation very seriously. And that's the end of that. All right, now let me get to the general meeting stuff. This is the more informational part. I'm trying to keep this short for folks. So first of all, news: the Butterfly short film, basically our second short film, got accepted into Sunscreen Film Festival and was scheduled to be shown on May 3rd at 12 p.m. There's info online. I guess we'll include the info in the description. But like I said, we're not sure if that's going to stay the same due to the corona thing that we're dealing with. So that, just to let you know, the good news is Butterfly got accepted. Congratulations to Austin Newman, who's the producer director for that, and everyone who was involved, including myself. It turned out to be a beautiful looking film shot with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, 4K. And it was a great idea. It was a really good idea. And it was fun. Learned a lot. And now the Atkin class. So Atkin class right now, Atkin class and practice is suspended until further notice. This is because of coronavirus and what we're dealing with the pandemic and us not having the ability to book library spaces right now. That's the reason that the Atkin class is suspended from meeting. However, we will instead be scheduling silent short film shoots with anyone who is able to attend. So instead of doing the group meetings, we're gonna one-on-one get with all the actors, and we'll let you know. We'll schedule a shoot with each person individually. We'll use social distancing and everything, but we're gonna keep it really small. It'll probably just be an actor plus the camera plus sound. Well, actually, the silent solo doesn't have sound, so it'll be the actor plus the camera, probably plus one other person, producer, and we'll try to shoot those as safely as we can, following our new guidance. But that's what we'll be focusing on for now until the meetings come back with 15, 20 people in a classroom. So we'll do that. Online meetings. So that's becoming big now. So now is the time for us to use our online capability in Discord, which our app Discord actually lets us do video conferences and conference calls. It actually does everything. It does calls, it does texts, but it does video conferences. So you can be on your webcam. Right now we have it's expanded to 50 people at a time for these. So that's just for the time being. As far as the corona stuff, they gave us, because normally the limit is 10, I believe. So it's 50 people can attend these online meetings. We're going to do them regularly throughout the week from now on. And we're going to do with the individuals for teams. So a team will have a night to themselves. So acting team will have their own night. Camera team will have their own night. Story team, so on and so forth. We'll let you know in Discord what the schedule is. And you got to do it on Discord, because that's our app. Our app on Discord is how we collaborate. And just so you know, that you can get that on your phone, you can get that on your computer, you can get that through the browser. So it's everywhere. You do have to have a quiet place to be a part of these meetings. Otherwise, you're going to be on mute for the entire time. We can't have you just injecting noise into the whole thing, but you will be able to attend and listen. Sorry, my computer's talking to me and controlling my house. Anyways.
Tomorrow in Tampa, it will be partly cloudy with a high of 86 and a low of 66.
It's a little bit embarrassing. Anyways, okay, so those are the major news updates for TFN. So let me get to the COVID-19 guidance that was mentioned on our last podcast. Okay, we're a little bit new at this, so bear with us. So here's our overall guidance for COVID-19. So first of all, TFN will continue to remain active during this pandemic, but we will be limiting our activity and event size, and we will use social distancing, 6-foot rule, 10-foot rule, I believe it is now. Is it 6 or 10 feet? One of those. To minimize the risk to everyone, especially our most at-risk members. We actually have already updated our sign-up forms online to include the ability for you to list medical info and emergency contact. So before, when you sign up for TFN, we didn't ask about like, do you have any allergies, which might be important if somebody brings food, or an emergency contact, like say if you get hurt or something like that. We just had your personal, have you submit some voluntary personal info. But now specifically, there's a medical info section where you put in, it would be really useful for us to know who has a chronic medical illness like heart disease, diabetes, lung disease, something like that, which is one of the higher risk groups for this COVID-19 disease, virus disease. So now we have that on our sign up forms. We will assign basically everyone to a risk group. So we're going to break this on the next page, but there's group A, B, and C. Basically, just different levels of risk for each group. And so we're only willing to do certain activities with certain groups. This is just to help us better organize and minimize the risks for all our members to not get sick. We're also going to outline and work in correlation with the risk severity stages, stage 1, 2, 3. That just describes how active the organization is. Okay. So let me go to the breakdown of the risk groups real quick. Risk group A. Okay. Members who are 60 and older. Okay. Members who live with people who are 60 and older. So you may be 19 years old. If you live with somebody who is 16 or older, you are in immediate contact with them, you're in group A, risk group A. And members with a history of chronic illness such as heart disease, diabetes, lung disease, etc. These are things that put you in a higher risk than other people. As far as if you get this disease, it'll be much harder for you to fight it off if you have these conditions. So therefore, we have to consider all the people who meet this criteria in Group A. This could be updated in the future. Okay, that's high risk that we're considering. Group B is general risk. Basically, folks, I'm not sure these age categories are correct, but anyways, folks from 45 to 59, that is not right. Anyways, I'm going to skip the age part. Group B, flu-like symptoms. So if you have some flu-like symptoms, then you know about it. You're in Group B. We're kind of dependent on you to let us know that ahead of time. But if you had flu-like symptoms within the last 14 days, or if you recovered from COVID-19 specifically, like you had it and you recovered from it, you're in Group B. Or if you use public transportation of any kind, be it Lyft, be it HART, the bus. If you used a trolley, any public transportation, you are also in Group B. Okay? There's a certain amount of risk from you being on the bus, where lots of people frequent the buses and sit down and are in close proximity. And also, if you sit in the back of a lift where you don't know who's been in the back seat, and whether or not they've been coughing and sneezing. So those are pretty much the criteria that defines Group B. Group C is our last group. The lowest risk are going to be folks 13 to 17. As long as you don't have any medical conditions or chronic ailments. And ages 18 to 44. Those are mainly, this group is driven by the age group that has had the fewest problems. However, this is not just like an old people's disease. Young people can get this and get into really bad condition as well, even if you don't have any apparent underlying conditions. People, just like people who are younger than me and healthier than me, can get the flu and die from the flu. This here can really be trouble for anyone. So this is just us recognizing that those age groups have the best chance of recovering or having it be very, very mild or being asymptomatic. But you should not think that if you're in this last group, the lowest risk group, or in this age group, that you are safe from getting this disease or getting into real needing to be hospitalized. You should always do what you can to avoid contracting the disease, no matter what age group you're in or how good you feel like your immune system is. Try to not get the disease as much as possible, just like the older folks are trying to not get this disease. However, this is the best option as far as like when we want to continue to film or just do some really restricted activities. Risk group C is going to be our lowest risk. All right. Now, the stages of severity as far as whenever there's like an emergency or localized thing going on and we're active and we basically have stages before we shut down and we don't do anything as an organization. Stage 0 is the safest activity when there's no unusual risk. Stage 1 is reduced activity, unusual risk and alert, reduced activity and risk precautions. We're at actually stage 2. So there is we're at restricted activity, which means basically certain people cannot take part in certain things that we're doing. So if you're in that high risk group, you're not going to be filming unless it is, well, you're probably not going to be filming, unfortunately. Unless we can guarantee that you're not going to come into contact with folks who might be infected or places that people don't normally frequent. And so just be safer. We got to take all the precautions possible if you're in that first group. But we're basically stage 2 where we've restricted our activity. We've not just reduced it, we've restricted it. So we're not meeting in groups. Even if we have a venue other than the library, we're just not going to do those. We're going to focus on individuals more so. It's restricted. So that's restricted participation and activity. Participation on the part of each member, activity on the part of TFN. That's where we are. Now, if it gets worse than that, then that's basically imminent danger. That's shut down. So there's no production and TFN does not move until further notice. We're not there yet. So we're at stage 2. Okay, so that's how this breaks down. And if any of this is confusing or unclear, I do apologize. You can send us a message. We'll try to answer any questions, but we're handling as best as we possibly can. So that is the end of the COVID-19 guidance. Be safe out there. All right, let's get to I believe. All right, so folks on the admin team, actually, all I want to say is we're focusing on recruiting and locations right now. Recruiting because we need some folks to handle some important jobs, and we're running low on certain things. Certain things are just going unhandled, and I don't have the list in front of me, but I would imagine, I don't think we have a web developer. It'd be nice to have somebody who's just making sure that the website is always running smoothly or up to date. But probably the most important thing right now is camera folks and audio. So we have a bunch of camera people who have not gone onto our Discord, which but you're not on Discord, you're not doing anything at all. All the activity, all the real stuff is happening on Discord. So if you are a member of TFN, get Discord, check your inbox. We probably already sent it to you if you already signed up. Or message us and ask for a link to Discord. We'll bring you onto the server. We only talk about film projects for TFN on Discord. We don't do different sources. Like we don't email some people, call some people, text some people, and Facebook other people. It's only Discord. If you want to be active in TFN, you have to use Discord. Let me just show you real quick where the sign up is. Online, TampaFilmNetwork.org. So here's our website, and you go to join. So you could just do TampaFilmNetwork.org/join. And so this is where you go in general. Anyone can use this. There's a special one if you're an actor and you know that you're going to join the acting team. Use the actor sign up. It'll ask you just a few extra questions for actors. But the general sign up will work for actors too. This is just letting you know. We're going to ask for your email. We're going to send you updates. We're going to let you know when events are happening. Discord is going to send you stuff when you miss messages on Discord. And you're going to be okay with that. Also, if you're joining TFN, if you're going to be producing anything for TFN, like such as filming or creating audio or doing a performance, you're basically saying at this step, it's okay for TFN to publish it. So once we record it, we can publish it on our website, on YouTube, on social media, in a theater if we want to. And you can't change your mind about that. Okay. So it's letting you know there, and I don't know the legally bounding effect of it being right here on this website. We'll probably also ask for your signature on something. But we're letting you know at the first step here, this is what we're looking to have permission for. And the second part of this is just letting you know, hey, if you really want to be active and not just put your name on something, you're going to need to get on Discord right after you do your sign up. So here's the notice about Discord, and you get the link right after you complete the form. So you go here, you complete the form, just put in the info as best you know. And then after you submit it, you'll get the link to Discord. It will show up. And here's a list of people who are already here. So maybe you don't know if maybe I signed up already in the past, and I don't know from there. If you don't see your name here, you can go ahead and sign up. Just put it in there again. We don't want you to do it twice, but if you don't see it here, you probably didn't do it the first time. Yeah, so that's that. And don't worry, if if we ask for your email, we're not going to show it like on the public thing. So like, there's the public thing doesn't show any personal info; it just shows general info. Okay, so that's just how you sign up. Let me quickly go to the producers team. Okay, producers. So, actually, I'm going to save that for another time. Yeah, there's a special thing I'm going to go over with producers. So actually, beyond the producers, so story team. So here's what we're doing now. We're focusing on silent solos, and I'm going to do a separate video for this. But the silent solos are short films driven by one character with as few locations as possible. There's no audible dialogue, and these are meant to be really easy short films, and they're meant to be more focused on mood, some aesthetics, but a story structure has to be written into it. So for our story team, the silent solos is what we're working on. Everything else, we're not even worrying about it. And I'll even take this off for right now. So first, last, always is the only thing we're working on right now, silent solos. So each actor needs one, everyone on our acting team. So just come up with as many ideas as you can. You know where to put them. Post them on the Discord, and I'll post a separate video on this later. But start with the title, a log line. The step out line is basically the story as bullet points. Each scene equals a bullet point. Basically, just give the outline of the story. Okay, don't worry about a screenplay format right now, and it should fit into one slide. You guys know what the slide is. If you don't, I'll post it. Let's go acting team. All right, so acting team is actually our biggest, most active team, and we thank you guys for that. And we're going to be filming with each one of you guys individually. We got the list of everyone who's been there in the last few weeks, and we're checking off the boxes. So we're gonna have our meeting on Saturday, our online meeting on Saturday with the producers, and we'll just kind of see what you guys think of the ideas that we have right now. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna be focusing on during this time. It's just silent solos. Meet you guys on certain locations, use the social distancing, and we'll just do the individual films with you guys. So everyone's next film assignment is a silent solo. It's the only thing it is. Okay? Don't worry about anything after that. Let's get the silent solos done. Starting March 28th, every Saturday from 8 to 9 p.m. will be open for the online video conference between the acting team and the producers team on Discord. So like I said, we're going to have our online meetings Saturdays, 8 to 9 p.m. for now. If we need to change that, we'll let you know. Camera team. Okay, so kind of important. So camera team, we're really in need of new locations, and we depend on the cinematographers to provide us new locations. So just know that, like, when you're out and about, going to work, going to the store or anything, and you see a good location, flip out your phone, take a picture for us, and then upload it to our website. Get those pictures. Pictures all the time. Anytime you see something that looks good where we can shoot, especially if it's in public and easy for us to access, or if you have a private location that is film friendly, we need those. So we're going to ask you more now than ever. Give us some locations to work with, please. And when you're ready to turn them in, you can click this here, or just go to tampafilmnetwork.org, and there's a submission thing here. So under contact submissions, submit a new location. Okay, and this is the page where you submit a location. So there's a little form here, and it'll let you upload the pictures that you took with your phone. You can do multiple pictures. You select your name to let us know who scouted the location or who took the pictures. So you have to be a member. Here's a picture thing here. Upload as many as you want. It'll ask you for the name of the location. You can use the address, or you can just describe it as dark alleyway in Ybor, or dark alley or downtown or something like that. Don't actually go to a dark alley. Don't be unsafe. Put in any notes that describe it if you want to. It's not required. Put in the address, though, or give an approximate address. Select the city. Okay. If it's associated with any project, select. So we have projects on the books here. And if you're familiar with, if you're scouting specifically for anything, just select it on here. Otherwise, if you don't see a project, I don't believe it's required. No, it's not required to select a project. And availability. So the last thing is you put whether it is a public location, a private location, or if it's off limits. Like, it's definitely a place you're not supposed to be, but we maybe end up shooting there as long as nobody's watching. So if it looks good, there's always a possibility we might use the location. Okay, and here's an example of what's in the library here. See? And like I said, multiple pictures. All right. So when we're ready, we can look and query the database. This goes directly into our database, and it will show us things that we're looking for. So if we're looking for something in Tampa, or if we're looking for something near a certain address, or with certain descriptions that you use, it'll come up for us. All right. So please, even if you're not a camera person, if you have locations you want to submit that we can use, please use that. Okay. Oh, okay. We're almost done here. Media team. Now is more than ever, we need our media team to make sure that you're at every one of our events. Event meaning not just class or practice, but the films or anything where we're gathering, so that we can have pictures to promote online. That's what our media team does. So if you're not on Discord, make sure you get on Discord. Check your email if you already signed up as a member, and just search Discord in your inbox, and it should bring up the email with the link. So, and then it's just like, the next film projects we'll have is the silent solos. We need pictures for those too. Okay. Now that's basically all I'm going to cover right here, because everything else is going to be private for members only. And I'm going to post that in the Discord. But thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, please see the follow-up videos in your own team's Discord. Let me show you Discord real quick for people who are like, what is this Discord he's talking about? So I have it on my desktop, but I'm going to show you. Here, oh, sorry. 1 second. Bring this back because it's kind of light in my face. All right, let me show you how to get to it from the browser. So it's available on your phone, also the browser, and as a desktop app, discordapp.com. I'm going to open it here in the browser. Okay, so Discord is basically our communications app, and this is where all the real stuff is happening. Lobby is where everyone's in this. Events let you know when our next whether it's acting class or there's a shoot, it's going to be posted in the event channel. Questions, you can ask admins for help with anything. Don't worry about shoot location. That's basically if you're shooting, you have access to that channel. Otherwise, if you're not shooting, you won't see this. And then all the teams have their own channels. So the channels that are specific only to the admin team are right under the admin dropdown. Story team channels, story team dropdown. Acting team dropdown. Other crew, and so on and so forth. But then there's the category of everyone. So just by being a member of TFN, you have access to all these channels. Other than that, you only have your team channels after that. So that's what this is what Discord kind of looks like. And this is just what's going on in the lobby. We're talking about different stuff. But yeah, it does calls, texts, video conference, screen sharing. So just like I'm sharing this screencast right now, you can do that live within the app, and it's free. So even if you're not a member of TFN and you do film production, you should probably be using this. You're always going to have some people who's like, oh, well, you contact them on Facebook, like, well, I don't use Facebook, or I don't check my Facebook for days, or naturally, a lot of people don't check their emails for days. So it's like, how do you communicate with your crew? We just decided, let's just put everyone on one thing. It will always notify them when something's happening. That way you don't have some people who want to be contacted some way, this way, that way, or whatever. Everyone just has the same thing. So that's it. So that's the general meeting update. We're going to have more in-depth ones later on, but thanks so much for attending or watching or viewing. And I want to wish everyone a safe time off if you're at home. Hopefully, you and your family are okay. You and your family are healthy, and you're getting along okay. And it's going to be challenging, but we'll get through it. And for those of you with some downtime, when we let you know about the shooting activities, as long as you feel comfortable, let's take advantage of that. Let's use this time best that we can. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great weekend. Take care.